All right, it's chapter 14, lesson 7. Okay, it says partition shapes. Look at the example. Victoria will plant 4 different vegetables in a rectangular garden. Well, what shapes does she need to draw? What shape? What shape is her garden going to be?
Rectangle?
Yeah, rectangle. Okay. It says, if she wants the partition garden into 4 equal sections, what fraction of the garden area will be used for each vegetable? So she wants it into how many sections? How many sections? How many sections? How many sections does she want her garden in?
4.
4. So it's a rectangular shape, and she wants it in 4 sections. So then it says, what fraction of the garden area will be used for each vegetable? Draw a rectangle to represent the garden's area. So here's a rectangle with 4 areas, or 4 sections. Partition the rectangle into 4 equal sections. That's what we did. Explain how you partition the rectangle. So this is what we did. See, here's my rectangle with 4 sections. I first partitioned the rectangle into 2 equal sections, and then I partitioned each section into 2 more equal sections. So what that means that this person did, they did this. They did a rectangle. First, they divided it into 2 sections. They divided it in half. They divided it in half. Then they divided this section in half, and then this section in half. That's how they got the 4 equal parts. So look at the. So we did explain. It says, look at the bottom. It says, what unit fraction of the garden area will be used for each vegetable? How many sections are there?
4.
4. That's my denominator at the bottom. Okay. And there's going to be, each section is going to be used for 1 vegetable, right? So the unit fraction for the garden's area for each vegetable, okay, is going to be 1/4. Okay. She'll use 1/4 for, I don't know, tomatoes. She'll use another 1/4 for potatoes. She'll use another 1/4 for squash. And for you, another 1/4 for jalapenos, I guess, and whatever she's going to plant. All right. So look at this example. It says partition a hexagon into 6 equal sections. So how many sides does a hexagon have? 6. So watch. This is how you do one. Do a trapezoid like that, but without putting the line underneath, and then just do it this way. And there's your 6 sides of the hexagon. And then, so partition the hexagon into 6 equal sections. And just cut it diagonally like this, diagonally this way, and then across. There's your hexagon with 6 sections. Then it says, what fraction of the hexagon's area does each section represent? Well, each section, how many sections do I have total? 6. And each section represents 1/6 of the whole total. So first partition the hexagon into 2 equal sections. Then partition it into each section into 3 equal parts, and that's what we did. So they basically are telling you to do like this. Here's my hexagon. First, he said to put it in, divide it in half, right? And then each section here, you're going to divide it into 3 sections. Like this. Right? What unit fraction of the hexagon's area does each section represent? How many sections do I have total?
6.
6. That's my denominator. And each section represents one section out of all of it. So each section will represent 1/6 of that. Let's do this one together. It says partition the circle into 4 equal parts. Tell me, let me ask you this. Are those equal? Are those sections equal? Are those equal? Are those equal? Now this section's small, smaller than that section. No. First, I'm going to divide it in half like this, and then I'm going to divide it across like this, the best you can. That's roughly about equal. Okay. Each section has an area that is 1/4 of the total area of the circle. So this section here is 1/4 of it. This section here is also 1/4. This section here is also 1/4. And this section here is also 1/4. Kind of like 4 quarters make a dollar, right? It says partition each figure. That means divide the shape. Okay, divide the shape into the number of sections that they want you to divide it into. Then write the unit fraction, the figure's area that each section represents. So look at the first one. It says divide this rectangle into how many sections? 6. I can do this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, roughly. Or, what's another way to do it? I could divide it in 3s like this, right? And then, how can I make it into 6s? Put a line in the middle across, horizontal, right? My unit fraction, how many sections do I see total? How many sections does this have? 6. That's the number at the bottom. Okay, and then the number at the top goes here. So again, I divide my shape into 3 sections first. Again, I divide my section into 3 sections first. 3 equal sections, by the way. And then cross diagonally like this. Okay. How many sections do I have total? That's 6. That's the number at the bottom. And then each section represents 1/6 of that. All right. So then number 2 says 2 equal sections. Is that 2 equal sections?
No.
No. So I'm just going to cut it down the middle. That's roughly about 2 equal sections. All right. So what would be my fraction, my unit fraction? 1/2. Good. 1/2. Number 4 and 5, they say 2 equal sections. Is that 2 equal sections? Yes, it is. This side and that side. Are these 2 equal sections?
Yes.
Yes. Are these 2 equal sections? Yes. So it really doesn't matter which way, as long as I go from one end to the other. So what would be my unit fraction? 1/2. Oh, this is a hard one. When I divide a circle into 6 sections, I'm going to cut it in half like this. And then I'm going to take it this way. That's 1. That's 3 here like this. Here and here. That's 6 right there. All right, and it's not perfect, but you get the point. Okay, what would be my unit fraction for number 6?
6.
Say it again.
1/6.
1/6. And then number 3, obviously, number 6, 6 equal sections. What's my unit fraction for number 6? 1/3 or 1/3. Now 7, it's 8 equal sections. I'm going to make 4 of them right here. 1, 2, 3, and that's 4. And then how do I make 8 again? A straight line, horizontal, like this. And what would be my unit fraction there? For number 7.
1/8.